Hello there, my fine geeky friends, and well, now that we got that first kind of cringy video out of the way, and hopefully we have a kind of better idea of what we're doing now, I thought I'd go on to kind of talk a bit more about what I actually want to do with this channel. And besides talking about, generally kind of comic books and movies and TV shows and games, things like that, I kind of want to do some more organized segments, if you will. Now, I do have some ideas for kind of other individual channel sort of things within Life of Geek, but for right now, I kind of want to do, besides general pontification, I kind of want to do some actual segmenty kind of bits. And the first one that I thought of is something I call Escape With Me. Now, this is going to be sort of an exploration, starting in very basic terms, and then throughout kind of getting more and more advanced. Simple things like, what is sci-fi? What is fantasy? And then later on, maybe, what is high fantasy? What is low fantasy? So on and so forth. All these various things. Like I said, I've been doing my thing since probably the mid to late 70s. And so, yeah, I do know a decent amount about a decent amount of things, but there's always new things out there to learn, and some of these will be new to me, like anime. I've seen anime, I've watched anime, but I wouldn't really say I'm an anime person. So, it'd be kind of fun to go and explore and see, what it is. Now, another segment, that I'd like to do is, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have this thing on Sesame Street called Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood? And little kid Muppet would go out, they'd run into a postal carrier. And, say, who are you? And I'm a postal carrier. I deliver your mail. And a nurse or a police officer or the mayor or whomever. It was sort of to give kids an idea of what the world was like once they kind of started venturing away from home a little bit. And I kind of thought it'd be kind of a neat thing to do here as well. Like I said, I'm not really an anime person, so it might be kind of interesting to get someone who is an anime person. Sit down with them and talk to them. What is it about this fandom that you really like? How'd you get into it? What's a good way for someone to start getting into it? Not only kind of introducing you to the kind of people you're going to run into in a particular fandom, but just sort of to give information and ideas of how fandoms sort of work. In some ways, you can even break it up into several things. Like if I get around to doing the SCA, I could talk to someone who's a fighter. And then possibly talk to someone who's into the arts and sciences. To give kind of a more rounded, broad view of what that particular fandom is all about. And I think those, got some other ideas I'm sort of cooking around with and playing with. But those are the two general ones I think I'd like to start with. And of course, there'll be just me pontificating, for lack of a better word. I've used it several times. Just my ideas and thoughts and experiences. Like I said, I would like to do one on San Diego Comic-Con, and very specifically, as opposed to, cons in general. Very specifically about, maybe a particular TV show that I really like, or liked as a kid, or so on and so forth. And as I said, trying to keep it more possibly in a positive vein, but again, to entertain and inform. That's what I like to do, and hopefully that's what you like as well, and that's why you're watching it. Because I'm very quickly running out of friends and family members to get to subscribe to my channel. So I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, like everyone says. And I'm sure I'll come up eventually with some kind of cutesy phrase to use for that. And if you got one, please put it in the comments or send it to me, because I could really use the help here. I kind of feel like starting over is the same as starting out, and it's made it very interesting and kind of cool. I did some shoots a couple days ago, and looking back over some of the footage, I was just kind of, yeah, I think we can do that a little better. So, it's kind of my intention here, and hopefully, you're enjoying it as well, and we can hopefully do many, many more. And, of course, I guess you could say I'm a professional, or semi-professional anyway. However, as always, I highly recommend that you try this at home. Whether it's making videos, writing stories, writing scripts for people to do videos and stories about, getting involved in a local gaming group, or maybe an international one now that we can play online together. Uh, when the Cyrus lifts and the world kind of returns, going out to events and cons. Follow your passion, follow your dreams, do the things that you love. Just like I love all of you, collectively and individually. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.